Hi. Okay. I'm a little tired. I didn't get very much good sleep last night. I tried to go to sleep at like 2 in the morning. That fucking dab emote? That shit's pissing me off. Delete it. Get rid of it. Fucking delete it or I'll go ballistic. I'm gonna go fucking postal. But yeah, I tried going to sleep at approximately, what, 2 in the morning? Just about, I want to say, 2 in the morning, yeah. And it didn't work out. Because I ended up staying up until like 6 a.m. It was either till 5 or 6 in the morning, just like scrolling YouTube shorts because I couldn't fall asleep. Like, oh no, you're not supposed to use your phone like an hour or two before you sleep. Brother, I'm unemployed, okay? What am I supposed to do? Come on, man. But yeah, I stayed up till like 6 in the morning and then I'm like, fuck my baka life. And then I finally drifted off to sleep because I managed to put on some random background noise. I think I was watching like a Scott the Waz video and then I finally fell asleep. And then my fuck ass alarm woke me up at 10 and I got like maybe 3 hours of sleep at most. So I'm a little out of it. I'll probably have to use some medication to fall asleep tonight again. But oh well. But hi, hope you guys are doing well. How are you? How's your day? Me personally, I'm tweaking. I'm tweaking. Because I'm tired. That's why. I'm tweaking! I'm tweaking! Hi. Hey, Tofu. Hey, 80. Hey, Cole. Hi. Just woke up while you're about to go back to sleep. I say as I pick up a giant brick I found on the road and I That was crazy. Who did that? Did you guys see that guy that passed by with a brick and just beat the shit out of Tofu? Oh my god. Dude, world's a scary place. Be careful, y'all. Be careful. Have you guys seen that video? Where the guy, or not the guy, the cap just like Phasmophobia gameplay. It's like the voice and nobody's on stage and it's just this audio.
What is your name?
How old are you? How old are you?
What is your name?
How old are you?
What is your job? Do you know what you might do with $1 million?
What is your name? How old are you? How old are you is crazy. It's making me fucking laugh so hard. Yeah, I haven't bookmarked much since then. Here's that video of Super TF bouncing and moaning on it again. Man, I should have done that last night. Instead of getting mad with my gameplay, I should have just started bouncing on it, man. Alright, so where we left off was... I don't remember. Oh, I know, Kinzo went crazy mode. And literally he just like summoned the Cheshire Sisters, followed up by like Goro Majima or some shit. I say Girl Majimo, but I'm just calling her that because she has an eye patch. And then everyone started tweaking, or is going to start tweaking, I assume. I should draw that thing like getting shot at with various guns. Oops. Perfect. Now I just need to draw the mouth again. It's like I can't remember if I'll do the mouth correctly or not. Oh, that is a fucked up mouth. It's cracking me up. And then some teeth. How do you draw teeth? Teeth is hard. You draw teeth. He just looks like a monster here. You know what? How do you draw a straight line? How do you people do this? How do you people do this for a living? People scare me. You people put fear into my heart. I'm just use the paint tool because I'm a lazy bitch. And he got a tongue. Like this. He looks like Gengar, low-key. Low-key, he sort of looked like Gengar. No, that's too much teeth. Okay, I got it. Okay. Oh, oops, I didn't seal that off. Oh no, now it's in there. This shit hard as fuck, man. Whatever, I don't care anymore. This thing's gonna die anyways. Check it out. Wanna know how he's... This shit is so ugly! Should we blindfold him? We should blindfold him. Because what's gonna happen is... Oh, there's no point in me, like, drawing this, right? Me doing this, then? Oh, it's okay. I'll color the blindfold around the tears. That way you know he's crying while he's being executed. It's okay. So today's execution, this is like my Bob Ross segment of the stream. Where I teach you guys how to draw, but I don't really teach you how to draw so much as I teach you different execution methods. Today's execution method. How do you draw a pole? Okay, so he's tied up to a pole. Not getting crucified, but tied to a pole. Okay? Let me make that very clear. Oh shit. Okay. So there we go. There's that. Here is a squad of soldiers about to execute a view firing squad. I say squad, but it's actually just gonna be one guy. How do you draw a gun? We'll just go with the simple rectangle. Just go with the simple rectangle gun. Right? There's a little trigger. He's holding a fucking... He's holding like a protractor or like those right angle rulers. Man, who gaff? I gaff. I gaff a little actually. Alright, here we go. And then there's like gonna be like some muzzle flash to indicate the bullet's been fired. And then here's the bullet incoming. Incoming bullet. Watch out. Oh, Kinzo, no. Kinzo, watch out. There's a bullet coming your way. And it's phallic shaped for some reason. Draw some like action lines behind it to indicate that it's going at a ridiculous speed. Oh no, watch out, Kinzo. Oh no. And it just fucking blows his brains out. Why don't we do that though? Why don't we draw the aftermath? Like draw some like brain matter. Here's the brain matter. Oh god, brain matter. This looks like a bowling ball. Never mind. We'll leave it up to the viewer what happens to this Kinzo. We'll call this firing squad. Firing squad. Boom. Today's execution method is finished. Rest in peace, Kinzo emote. Hardly knew you. Now I'm gonna close the window or minimize it, and then I'm gonna forget about it. I'm gonna open it up like about, I predict 2 hours into the stream, and I'm gonna be like, what the fuck did I do? And like, what the hell is this? I'm like, what is this shit? Okay, no more delays. Yeah, there's Goro Majima. I miss anything else? It's 45, 410, and 00. Three girls with strange forms suddenly appeared behind Kinzo. Where from? When? Who? Who were they? Double question mark. The humans were thrown off balance and their minds went blank. Guess they spent all that time thinking they lost their chance to survive. I just predicted how they would die. I just predicted how they would die. Firing squad. Oh my god, no! You have permission to shoot 6 to death. I leave the choice of targets up to you. Begin your attack. Yay! We get to kill as many people as our army. We get to kill up to 6 people. Yay! Unrestricted firing. Understood, sir. Thank you for granting us such excellent targets. Everyone commence unrestricted firing. He for sweating, yeah. When 410 scratched the air with her finger, a golden bow appeared in empty space and she pulled its string. The golden arrow that had been readied there was fired off without any hesitation, flew around the room, leaving haphazard gold curves everywhere. No! It chose Nazi from among those sitting at the table of the family conference, pulverizing the left half of her face. Oh, here we go again with golden slaughter. Flesh and deep red blood scattered around, leaving massive red splatter marks on the relatives' faces and the pure white tablecloth. Silence fell. Despite the massive number of deep red spots left on the tablecloth, no one could understand why Natsue's head was half smashed, nor why she was hanging her head as though dozing while still sitting. And they watched on in silence. Those sitting on Natsue's right-hand side were silent for a relatively long time, but those sitting to her left were not, because the people sitting on that side had been shown how her head had been smashed open like a watermelon or a pomegranate, and could even see inside her. Oh, how's Kraus gonna react to this? Not one down. Natsue, is it? The luckless woman to the end. Next! 00 firing. Oh no, stop it, stop it, stop it! After scratching the empty air in the same way and readying her bow, 00 fired as well. Rudolph! Rosa! No, Rosa! It's Rosa. After it flew around and around at high speeds like the golden arrow 410 had released, drawing a convoluted curve in the same manner, it smashed half of— No! It smashed half of Rudolph's head in the same way as he looked at Nazi in shock, killing him instantly. Not Rudolph! Not after he went off about how his son is a stupid idiot, but he still loved him. No! Oh well. Hey, at least Kirie is alive. This time everyone managed to avoid freezing up mentally. They realized that a fearsome murder had started playing out right in front of them, just as Kinzo had said. And they realized that Kinzo would probably kill even more. Shrill screams burst out. Even so, they didn't know what to do. So they could only keep screaming and flapping their wide open mouths like, he's a goldfish. Father, what do you think you're doing? You fool! Run! As Ava asked Kinzo that, in total shock, Hideyoshi, who had come to his senses faster than anyone else and risen to his feet, pulled at her arm from behind. No! No! However merciless fate's choice for the third sacrifice, please don't say Hideyoshi! You can't do this to me! Just like the two before him, half of Hideyoshi's head was neatly smashed. And the right side of his head, which had happened to be facing that direction at the time, had been blown away with its contents exposed like a watermelon. Still holding Ava, Hideyoshi slumped backwards and fell down. Still held by her beloved husband, Ava fell over backwards with him. Oh, it's so over. I hate it when Ava finds Hideyoshi's body or like is desperate to stay with him. She might be an awful person, but she really, really and truly did love Hideyoshi. Oh god. Of my voice, thank you. It's very flattering of you to say thank you. Oh god. Please no! Why? Why him? You couldn't take Kraus? Come on, man. Dear. Here. Ah! Eva screamed. It was only natural. The face she had been looking for had been half lost, and the crushed skull, the mashed brains, and the crushed jaw all lay bare. 45 impact, it's a hit. Impact! Genshin impact! Spectacular. Fire again. 3 more remain. Is he tweaking too? Cross is also well, okay, who wouldn't be tweaking in this situation, to be honest? Father! What is this supposed to be? When Cross stood up, oh, I thought he just died. When Cross stood up for swing and was about to rush Kinzo, 00 blocked him. With her slender-looking body, she held back Cross with just the palm of her right hand. He still tried to resist and attack Kinzo. So 00 lifted Cross by the nape of the neck and twisted into his Adam's apple with her thumb. Ow! It seemed to be very painful, and Cross was overcome with agony. He's doing the thing too! But this time in genuine pain. Wow, who knew he had a good bone in his body? Everyone run, huh? Who knew? Get the police! An ambulance! Quickly! Let's get the fuck out of here! You don't gotta tell me twice! Get the fuck out of here! Nanjo's sharp words. Nanjo's sharp words finally dissolved the spell that had been holding them down in their chairs. When Gota and Kumasawa each tried to escape from the dining hall first. No, you can't take a glorp duff from us! Please, not him again. You sure are slow, yeah. Did you think I'd let you escape, yeah? Oh, help me! Oh. What? Goda-san duck? Huh? Even though Goda didn't understand, he crouched when he heard Kirie's sharp voice. Then a burst of air rushed above his head. What? How? Kirie had taken a big swing with a chair to mow 410 down. Oh, I thought, oh. I thought she predicted, oh, how the fuck is she seeing that golden arrow? That's insane, she's too smart. Oh, she just took a chair. She's just going fucking WWE style. I respect it. Kitty had taken a big swing with a chair to mow 410 down, but 410, still with a mocking expression, easily caught that widely swung chair with a single hand. What a scary woman. Yeah, you really want to go the same way as your husband that much. From the cuff of her arm where she had caught the chair, something like a shining golden snake appeared. Wrapped itself around the chair and burst open. It was a fearsome power like a vice. When Kirie realized that the being in front of her, which looked like a girl, was actually something that surpassed human knowledge, and that a human couldn't even begin to oppose. Her head was filled with a fierce alarm bell that welled up from deep inside her. They don't give a fuck. I know it's because they're furniture, but they really don't gab. Genji, Shannon, and Cannon. All of the servants permitted to wear the one-winged eagle continued to stand calmly at attention by the wall, even with a scene like this before their eyes, making them look very bizarre and eerie. For an instant, Kirei thought that they'd managed to stay calm because they were with the enemy, and had been given a guarantee they wouldn't be killed. And then one of them, Genji? Ah! That's 4. But as soon as she thought that, the sight of Genji's face was blown away before her eyes. Genji! From Overwatch. 45 impact, it's a hit. You're one of your like actual best friends and you're just like Genji, that's unlucky AF, bro. Lol. Genji, how unfortunate. Rest in peace, my friend. Oh, there he goes again with that fucked up face. Your death will not be wasted. You will become one of the 13 keys essential to the resurrection of my beloved witch. Half of Genji's expression that remained was as indifferent as ever. He tilted, fell over, and sent a blood-red splatter out across the floor. Oh no, Genji. We're nothing more than the witch's pieces. Nothing more. Nothing more. From the meek and frustrated, no. Resigned expressions on Shannon and Cannon's faces, one couldn't sense in a naïve's hope that they'd be rescued. That's right. Kinzo was in the truest sense carrying out these murders at random. The only thing I can maybe come up with at the moment is like maybe Beatrice is no, yes? Maybe Beatrice is possessing his body or something like that. But I don't know if that's in her list of powers or not. That is my current theory as to how we managed to summon the Cheshire Sisters. But otherwise, I got nothing. Maybe he's just gone off the deep end. In the truest sense, he was killing like it was a game to see who would be saved and who would be killed. Oh, well then, who will we go for next? Yeah. What are you kidding? Cannon! 410 looked at Kirie for a second. In that second, she was prepared for her own death. But when she readied her golden bow in midair, 410 was looking at someone else over Kirie's shoulder. So as imprudent as it was, Kirie felt as though she'd been saved. Wait, behind her? Kumasawa, not Kona! Please, not Kona! Again, an ugly, exploding, popping sound rang throughout the room. It's probably Kumasawa. We haven't seen, Goda, do much, really, I think. Maybe it's his time in the spotlight, right? When Kirie turned to face the direction of the sound, she saw blood gushing like a fountain, and Ava lying on her husband's chest. Of course, her face had been half smashed, just like her husband's. So one more. 410 had mercilessly targeted Ava as she clung to her husband's corpse, sobbing. Her next! Get her next! Get her! Let go of Nissan! Let go! Just stop it, father. Just stop this brutality. They all might be fucking stupid and really hate each other, but if you dig deep down and put them in a life or death situation, they love each other. Right? Smile. Run away, Rosa. Rosa's objection didn't reach Kinzo as he continued to laugh loudly in the blood-spattered dining hall, and she wasn't able to lessen Krause's pain at being lifted up by the nape of the neck by Double O. So Rosa had no choice but to use force. She lifted up a chair beside her and gave a warning. Oh, I can't wait to see what this does. Want her to let go, Nisa. Oh, yeah. Just stop them from doing this.
I cannot. If that is what you desire, then prevent it using your own power. Cut a path through to your own fate with your own hands. You, who have always hid behind the backs of others in fear, let me see you overcome your weakness one last time in your life.
So fucking funny. I love you, Kinzo. Oh, she's tweaking. The chair that Rosa had lifted up swung down at the father who had resigned or reigned as a symbol of terror for her entire life. It was the greatest and final act of bravery and self-control in Rosa's life. What Kinzo had said might have been true. If she had grasped that courage much sooner, her life might have become more free, unrestrained by anyone else. Then a bursting sound. The sound of Rosa's chair fiercely hitting Kinzo. It couldn't have been this. With the chair still lifted up, she nearly lost half of her head and slumped over. Woo! Yeah! Still holding Krause up with one hand, Double O had stuck her other hand out towards Rosa. The golden snake released from that arm had constricted Rosa in a helix and smashed into her head. Defensive firing. I apologize for the discourtesy of shooting so close to you, sir.
I gaff not. I gaff not. So this makes 6 people.
Or Goldsmith? Wait, this is all the way back in episode 1, where Battler was like, oh, it'd be so much cooler if Kindo's name, if you could read it as Goldsmith. Oh shit, what a payoff 3 episodes later, huh? Yes, Lord Goldsmith. This makes 6 people. When she indifferently communicated that, Double O let go of Krause, whom she had been lifting up this whole time. Oh god. Ava, Rudolph, Rosa, Natsuki, Hideyoshi, and Genji. We're left with a pretty interesting cast of characters this time around, right? Let's see, so we're left with all the kids, obviously. All the servants besides Genji. And then... oh shit! Damn, most of the parents, too. Rudolph's dead, both of them are dead. George's... George is once again parentless in this one. Jessica's dad is still alive at least. And then it's gonna be interesting to see what Battler and Kirie do. I think this is the first time Kirie is like alive, like after like the first couple Twilights, right? So that'll be really interesting. And Nanjo as well is Nanjo. And then we got Kinzo too. I wonder what Beatrice's like plan of attack is this time around. Because she's obviously using Kinzo as like the linchpin for her attack here.
Indeed. So the sacrifices of the first Twilight were Ava, Rudolph, Rosa, Natsu, Hideyoshi, and Genji from Overwatch.
Ew, ugly ass laugh. That's like a genuine cough laugh. It was a massacre that happened in an instant. The interior of the dining hall had been dirtied by blood spatter, and the 6 unlucky victims lay with their heads brutally exposed. In a way that was fitting for that abnormal space, Kinzo's abnormal laugh alone echoed out. I'm scared, bros.
The curtain has finally risen! The ceremony to revive Beatrix has begun! You lucky ones who've managed to escape the first Twilight. Allow me to introduce you to my friends. Arise, my friend! Renove!
Renove! Oh shit! Huge! Wait, does that mean he shows up over? No. Okay, so this is still the witch's side. There he is! There he fucking is! Oh my god! This is updated. Goldsmith. Anything on Beatrix? No. Goldsmith is Kinzo's sorcerer's name. His skill as a summoner is legendary for the current era. His summoning ability surpasses even Beatrix's at times. However, he's very mismatched, excelling in some areas while fatally lacking as a sorcerer in others. Magic with enough power to reheat a cup of black tea may be beyond him, but he's capable of summoning demons with magic strong enough to boil the sea. The source of his magic is found in arithmetic miracles, and his magical compendium is unique. Later on, even Beatrix took note of this and rearranged her own compendium accordingly. Well, so maybe the past 3 episodes was him gambling each time as well, and maybe this 4th episode is that fucking gamble finally paying off for him, perhaps. Maybe this was his endgame all along, was just him just tweaking. Maybe this was his endgame. When Kinzo called Bonov's name, the demon butler showed himself in midair, bowing respectfully. Pleased to meet you, everyone. And good day to those of you I haven't seen for a long time. I fucking hate his stupid laugh. It seems this place is once again spectacularly untidy. Pay it no mind. It takes a stimulant of this level to wake me from my daydream-like days. Allow me to introduce my friend, a reliable butler, and one of the 7 great demons, Renove. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. Just who was he making that introduction to? To us? To be the viewer? Kraus and Kirie, who were still down on their backside, to Nanjo, Goda, and Kumasawa, could only look up at this middle-aged gentleman they didn't know in shock. Only Shannon and Cannon seemed to recognize him, and they bowed deeply. So I guess the plan of attack here is just expose magic directly to Battler, Meta Battler, I should say, and just like, yeah, why would they all kill each other, right? Why would this happen, right? Who would the culprit be? Like, who would kill 6 people during the conference? I know he resigned himself to. Battler, I mean, in this case, resigned himself to blaming at least one of them. But I feel like in this case, with such a brutal murder, with 6 all at once. Well, no, this is assuming he doesn't move the bodies around for the ceremony. If all of them get found in this state with nothing changed, it's going to be hard for Battler to like sort of accept it, in my opinion. At least I think that's what'll happen. So I wasn't able to greet Genji. Now he was at least able to fulfill his purpose painlessly.
It was an instant death from a direct hit to the head. He didn't have time to feel the pain.
Is that so? Very well.
Another? Trying to think of who else it could be. One of the witches? Maybe? Lambda Delta? I don't know.
Allow me to introduce another friend.
Oh, Virgilia! I totally forgot about her.
Arise, my friend, Virgilia!
Never trust a witch, bro. Once again, a silhouette of someone the relatives didn't know appeared from empty space. She appeared terrified, just while making an elegant greeting. Thank you for summoning me, Master. Although I would rather not have been summoned into a bloody place such as this. Okay. Allow me
to introduce her too. This is both my friend and a reliable counselor, Virgilia.
Virgilia! Ah, here we are. So the 7 sisters are here too. Huh. An now retired endless witch, just teacher. She used endless magic properly and devoted her life to the smiles and happiness of people. Blah 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 blah. Okay, nothing new in that regard.
I desire to borrow your great power as the witch of the finite. Lend it to me.
Even if I tried to refuse, such a thing wouldn't be permitted for one subordinated by the power of your summoners. As you wish, Master.
Still, what a fearsome fellow. To think he summoned 3 of the Chiester sister corps, then me, and even Virgilia. Even though it's only in the area of summoning, to think that he surpasses Milady so thoroughly. How frightening. I can't help but shudder at the Ushiromiya blood. In order to carry out Beatrice's resurrection ceremony, I shall give it my all as a summoner. This still isn't enough. In order to perfectly succeed in the ceremony this time, I shall summon more. The Pendragon Memorial Troops and Renault and Virgilia. I can still call more. With my magic power, I can still call many more.
More? What?
Answer to my summons. One of the 72 demons. Gap!
Oh, Gop. I'm sorry. Gop? You can even materialize her? It probably means the corrosion has advanced even more on this island. It had already proceeded far enough to materialize us. By now we shouldn't be surprised no matter how great a demon he summons. Has Rokenjima already been completely sucked into a parallel world then? I hope he doesn't surrender. Oh, that's right! I totally forget. I totally forget that. With the demon and witch side, I believe it is it's literally them. It's literally them being summoned to the game. Not like game versions of them. They just step into the game where it's like la 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 la, here I am. At least I think so. I'm not sure. But that's what it feels like. At least I'm pretty sure this dialogue confirms it. I hope he doesn't surrender. He learned a lot last time, correct? After all this time, he won't surrender over this much. Probably, I should say. Well then, shall we enjoy the stage we now stand upon? It seems the main character is the master this time. Let us expect a script of a different flavor than the ladies. Oh, you blue as hell! When Kinzo strongly concentrated his magic power, a pale light gathered in the empty air, twisted, and a magic circle was drawn there with a deep red glow.
Damn!
I don't know how to feel about this dress. I mean, I fuck with it, but also it's like... Huh. And with a sound like glass breaking, a new demon could be seen there.
You did well to answer to my call.
Gob.
Gop, one of the 72 great demons.
What does it have to say about her? One of the 72 great demons of Goetia, and also Beatrice's friend. When a magician demands it, she grants the ability of instantaneous movement. She uses this extraordinary power for playing pranks mostly. Excuse me. Her specialty is hiding keys in bags during busy days or during busy mornings. However, in the context of closed-room mysteries, this power becomes an ultimate weapon that can easily strike a finishing blow. The Queen Bee strikes are likely to pierce any and all detectives, forcing them to surrender. So instead of using the stakes for those closed-room murders, we'll be using Gop this time, I suppose. This is one hell of a place you summoned me to. Did you call me to clean up this blood-stained room, Goldsmith? The literally devilish woman, wrapped in a venomous, ominous costume, looked at the scene which should have made her cover her eyes and twisted her mouth in a grin. To summon you for such a reason would be like using a cashmere muffler to mop the floor. It's been a long time, Gop. To think that a great demon such as yourself has finally appeared on this island. Perhaps this island is finally submerged completely into fantasy. This whole star cast is even more surprising than the gruesome state of the room. A full 3 Chiester sisters, the great demon Renault, the great witch Virgilia, and even me. What's going on? Is this pandemonium? Might as well be. Are you trying to start a concert from hell or something? I see. As a conductor for that, I couldn't think of anyone better than you, Goldsmith.
I will have your assistance as facilitator in the completion of my ceremony to resurrect Beatrix. You've no objections to my summoning contract, correct?
Of course not. There's no way I can resist the subordinating power of the legendary great summoner, Lord Goldsmith, who forced the famous great witch Beatrix to do his bidding. I'll assist you. Although, I will of course ask a fitting price. So, what's my first job? Capture the cowards.
Capture the cowards who made it through the first twilight. Fortunately, there's still 7 here. Aren't there? Nanjo, Shannon, Cannon, Goda, Kumasawa, Kirie, and Kraus.
I love it when he tweets like that. Hi, yeah? You changed your name again. Okay, so I know you asked me to call you Oolong, but it pisses you off when I don't. So hi, I don't know how to pronounce it. Hi, Tian. Hi. Who's saying? Oh, Kinza, right?
Oh. If these 7 are all offered as sacrifices, that's exactly 13 people. Until it's time for the second and later twilights to be carried out, throw them into the cage of sacrifices.
A cashmere mob, huh? Understood. As Gop shrugged her shoulders, she looked at Kraus, who was still down on his butt. She glared. Then when she snapped her fingers, Kraus was swallowed up by the floor as a— What? What in the fucking Looney Tunes trap? As though a round pitfall had opened up beneath him. Whoa! One down. There was no hole in the floor, but it certainly looked as though Kraus had been swallowed up by a hole and disappeared. Searching for her next prey, Gop's gaze crossed Kirie's. She snapped her fingers. Kirie jumped back as though repelled. Her instincts had been right. After all, in the place where she'd been until a second ago, a round jet black hole had appeared. The same kind that had swallowed up Kraus. However, before she could catch her balance, another pitfall appeared and swallowed her up. Even Kirie had no way of eluding Gop's capture. What? The fucking PowerPoint slide transition on Nacho! Whoa! When she snapped her fingers again, the shocked Nanjo was swallowed up by the floor and also disappeared. When she did it again, 410 let out a short yell and jumped back. This time, a slightly larger pitfall had opened, swallowing both Shannon and Cannon, who had been standing in a line by the door. But because 410 had jumped away from the door, the way was no longer blocked. Instinctively aware he'd be next, Goda dashed out through that door. Of course, Kumasawa also escaped with lightning speed, chasing after Goda. Too bad. As Gop snapped her fingers over and over, brown jet black pitfalls opened one after another behind them, chasing them. However, they did nothing but drive the recklessly fleeing pair away and couldn't swallow them up. Goda and Kumasawa escaped in a matter of seconds. I've gotten slow. I let two get away.
Don't worry, we're currently locking on to the escaped targets. Yeah, do their whole thing, data link ready, blah 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 blah.
No, I cannot authorize that. They are precious sacrifices.
Wait for the Master's authorization.
Great Lord Goldsmith, we await your orders.
It is still too soon for the coming of the second twilight, is what the source of my magic power is whispering to me. It must not be now. Let them do as they please. It isn't as though they can escape from this island.
The source of the Master's magical power is noise and risks and tests of luck. In other words, it means being fickle, it would seem.
His fucking face. It's so funny seeing this sprite when he's not crying.
Perhaps you could also put it that way. Good work, Gop. Let us steadily advance the ceremony from here on. Well then, that is that. Next are my grandchildren. I will test them to see whether they're qualified to become my successor. Let's see. How shall I test their qualifications?
If you decide they're qualified, do you intend to abandon Beto's resurrection?
Of course. And despite that, I will test them. Perhaps a woman cannot understand that contradiction, nor my madness.
Well, apparently. Men are as weird as ever. I don't get the very concept of playing around with risk.
Oh my, and I thought you loved that sort of thing.
Of course. If a man whispers to me about dangerous risks in love, I go head over heels.
You wanna go gambling? You wanna go gambling? You wanna go gambling and get married, Gop? Please, 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 please! But only if he's hot? Okay, my bad, y'all.
Be quiet. Try to refrain from whispering.
Huh. Truly noisy woman. But at least they aren't boring. This is what makes summoning so pleasant. All of you will bear one side of the scales of noise and risk in my ceremony. That is the work I expect of you.
She's not down for me. She's not down bad for me the way I'm down bad for her. 6 brutally murdered corpses lay in the dining hall, and it was contaminated with red, gruesome decorations. It was now unimaginable that until a second ago, 13 humans had been arranged here in a well-organized manner. Kinto lined up the famous demons and their subordinates, loudly declared the beginning of a night of overwhelming mass murders, and swore to himself that he would certainly revive Beatrice and open the door to the Golden Land. Crack! There it is. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now the curtain finally rises on the first twilight. That Kinzo, he loves being flashy as usual. So even that man who can be more persistent than anything when he follows you around can shine so well on the stage.
Ah, damn! Oh, he's gonna go test away as usual. Smashing half of their heads? The bad taste you witches and demons have always pisses me off!
Why smash half their heads though? That's, not even reminiscent. That's exactly what happened in the first episode during the first set of murders. So she realized that in the games up until now, that's been the most ideal method of killing. Ideal? Yeah, ideal. Huh?
How is such a grotesque way of killing ideal?
Sorry, who did that? What? Did you guys just see that cat that passed by? What the hell? That was crazy. Isn't it though? Try and remember the very first game.
You... So you're that new demon or whatever that just appeared.
Damn. So this mean that the witch's corrosion continued and that there's even more creeps wandering around? The more the witch's corrosion advances, the more Rokanjima tilts towards the spirit world. That's why strange, insane people keep appearing one by one. The island has been closed off by the typhoon, so no human can leave it, much less appear as a new character to increase their numbers. But the more it advances, the more witches and demons can appear without limit, increasing one by one. And now there might be more demons than humans among the characters appearing in this insane tale. Actually? Wait, for real? That's cap. Okay. Only count people who have showed themselves in the witch's room. Wait, no, so that's everyone pretty much. Never mind, let's count everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus 7 is 19, plus a million goats. We'll round that up to 20. Yeah, actually, yeah. 20 to 18. Well, I guess more like 18 to 19 if we only count the goats as like one entity, I suppose. Their numbers might be the thing that represents this mad corrosion. I'm sure that's true. And the corrosion hasn't just affected the number of people, but apparently their fashion sense as well. As the corrosion advances any further and even more weird people appear, just what in the world will they be wearing? The next demon just gonna show up fucking naked. It's so scary, I can't imagine. Seriously, give me a break! Don't make these weird guys increase in number anymore! I can't do that. They'll keep increasing more and more. I'll defile the foolish close circle rule humans speak of over and over again. Welcome to my elegant game, Gap. Richi's a cute nickname. Oh my god! That's what you would say in Mahjong though when you're tenpai ready. Or not tenpai ready. That's just when you're one tile away from winning. Have you been well? Why do I ask? You look great. Have you gotten younger? You look 200 or 300 years younger than when I last saw you. Oh, I see. The demon grandfather I'd summoned and introduced as Gop took a glance at me and then grinned as though she figured out something on her own. That smile felt openly obscene. I guess she's Berto's friend. Which means she's gotta be a creep among creeps. By the way, they were saying something about a closed circle or whatever, but what does that mean? Excuse me.
Serial murder mystery novels that occur in places isolated from the outside world like Rokanjima is now are sometimes called closed circles. Since such a place is isolated from the outside, it's like a circle that's closed. Therefore, in general, the characters and suspects are limited in number. Having new suspect candidates added one after another from outside the circle goes against the etiquette of mystery novels. In other words, the witch is probably trying to desecrate humans and the mystery genre itself. Your Grotto. You look like a wise kid. I love kids like you. You taste so sweet and tantalizing. Okay. You ain't gotta say all that. Yeah, gross, freak. Keep the jokes to your clothing. It's Devilish Pretty's newest Jack the Ripper Christmas blood. Sorry for having a style that a country bumpkin from the human world can understand, okay? You're freaking me out, still. Makes me know it's well ventilated. Why don't you add a gap to the head part as well? Let a little air into your brain. Gap is always sensitive to the fashions of the spirit world, but this year's fad truly is bold. I think I'll order one sometime. For you to each, I'd recommend Alley Gray, Alice in the Graveyard. Let's go to 666 sometime soon to look at the clowns. You really should drop by the spirit world every now and then. I can't believe the demons have their own clothing line, lol. Much less name brands. Still, your two opponents are pretty cute, Richie. Or Reach. It looks like this cat has figured out the meaning of the corpses with their heads half smashed. Know what that is, girl? She told me to remember the first game. What did that mean? Just what it sounds like. Yeah, their heads were smashed in, so what about it? Remember? Yeah, of course I do. Was that an attempt at summoning or something? Episode 1, the first Twilight. Yeah, crossed Rudolph, Kirie, Rosa, Shannon, and Goda. All 6 of them had their heads pulverized and died. At that time, there were 2 types of corpses. Some had their faces pulverized, and some had half their faces pulverized. Okay. And then Battler tried to make the assumption that, like, maybe they were mannequins or, like, bodies made to look like them or some shit like that. The ones with their faces smashed were Rudolph, Kirie, Rosa, and Goda. The ones with the sides of their heads smashed were Kraus and Shannon. At the time, I quickly created 2 types of corpses, but I realized that the former, more atrocious type was actually disadvantageous for me. Ah, right. So it is the body thing. Disadvantageous for you?
I see. So that's what this is.
That's right. The smashed faces might look atrocious. That made it hard to confirm the identity of each person. For example, at that time, Uncle Kraus and Shannon-chan had their heads half smashed. That alone was atrocious enough, but because of half of their faces remaining, it was easy to confirm their identities. The dad and the other three were different. Because his face was completely destroyed, even I, as his son, could only guess by inference it had to be dead because of his clothes and the like. In short, it remained vague until the end whether that really had been Dad's corpse. If this reasoning battle had taken place during the first game as well, I would have probably claimed that since the identities of Dad and the rest's bodies were impossible to confirm, there was a possibility that one was a fake corpse. After all, Beto didn't state anything in red during that game. Well done. Correct. A faked death is one of the basics of the mystery genre. Even if you make a doctor examine the corpse, you can't trust the results if you suspect him of being the culprit's accomplice. Therefore, corpses can't guarantee a death for certain, are always disadvantageous for the witch's side. You can suspect fake deaths for all corpses, hypothesizing one or more of them is the culprit for the crimes that follow. It's a move Battler doesn't like, but it's the most elementary move to use against a witch. That's right. That's why Beto started using the red. With the red truth, she can carry out a perfect autopsy. That's how it is. Normally for the first Twilight, I would use the red truth right away, confirming the deaths of these 6. However, as you know, my battle strategy this time is the complete opposite, and I'll now use red truth starvation tactics. Since you use it as a grounding from which to counterattack, I won't use it so easily. I'll make you come apart at the seams by using red in just a single place, as rarely as possible. In the end, it means I will permit all rants regarding your guesswork for all the closed rooms. And I only have to smash one of those once with the red truth. Even though you've always teased me, once I start counterattacking, you now hole up back inside your shell. Quit kidding around. At any rate, I don't want to use the red. I want to be stingy. I want to bully Battler. You want him so fucking bad. You want him so bad. It's not even funny. Oh my god. Just kiss already. How can I guarantee a death for certain without using red? I worried over and over, or I worried and worried over it. Then God gave me an idea. It truly is a simple method. I just pointed out something obvious and you hit upon the idea of each. I simply said that he only had to create corpses whose identity could be distinguished and whose complete death would be understood. Ah, fuck that face, Pikatrus. So true, Pikatrus. Thank you. In short, I put those two things together. The face, which is necessary to distinguish their identity, and the pulverization of the head, the vessel for the soul, which is the perfect symbol of death. When I put those two parts neatly together, oh, wonderful. I came up with the perfect answer of corpses with their heads half smashed. Bet you'll have 2-colored bread and 2-colored ice cream. Just like a greedy kid. At any rate, even if half of their heads are smashed, we shouldn't assume they're dead at this point. What do you mean we can't assume they're dead? Ugh. I don't know, I think having half your face smashed in is pretty apt. It's pretty apt for death. I get it. Beto's trying to act tough and is refusing to say anything in red. We've got to suspect everything. Of course, I'm definitely not gonna swallow the theory of magical mass murder by the Chester-ass snitch-ons. You sure I've gotten prudent? If this were the first game, you would have swallowed everything. I wouldn't have anything less from a rival. Since there's fortunately no red now, he can imagine whatever he wants and reason over and over again as he likes. At the very end, at the very sweetest spot, I'll cut him down at once with the red truth. And back to the game world. Are we where the sacrifices are? Yes. Wait, what? Rosa? Wait, huh? Silent, black, cold, painful. Rosa regained consciousness bit by bit. And the first thing she thought was that it would have been better if she hadn't. After all, with her body this cold and hurting. No way! No fucking way, bro. No. No way. Do not fucking kid me with this shit. It felt like she'd been sleeping on ice-cold marble in the darkness, lying face down for a long time. This is why I always tell myself, even if it's just for a nap, I've gotta at least grab a sofa. I know that if I naively try to close my eyes for just a second and end up sleeping on the floor in the sturdy chair, or in the sturdy chair, it'll hurt my body later and make things difficult. Even my bones are ice cold. Since I slept on such a hard and cold floor, half of my face pressed down against it hurts so. If I were to look in a mirror right now, I'm sure I'd see an embarrassing mark. I don't think that just rubbing it would make that mark disappear, but I stroked the hurting side of my face anyway, trying to smooth it over. I wonder where this is. I thought it was pitch black, but it looks like it isn't. After all, I can faintly see my own body. Without a doubt, there was some source of light, but even if I looked up at the ceiling or the sky, there was only an expanse of blackness, and I couldn't see a proper light. My body alone was slightly lit, whereas everything else was sunk in darkness. That's what this world was like. It was almost as though Rosa alone had been abandoned in a forgotten world. As her mind grew clearer, she started getting nervous about why she was alone in a lonely place like this. When she was about to call out, asking if anyone was there, she heard the patter of footsteps coming towards her. They were light footsteps, so it was probably a kid. She didn't sense anything disturbing, so she wasn't afraid. But they also weren't Maria's footsteps, so wondering who in the world would be in darkness like this, she stared in the direction of the footsteps were coming from. One of the witches? Rickenstall? Lambda Delta? As she did, a faint approaching silhouette came into view. What, Sakataro? It looked like a child much younger than Maria. Who is it? I don't know this kid. Yeah, you do. You killed him. The expression on his face was like a lost child separated from his parents. As a parent with a daughter herself, Rosa felt as though her chest had been torn apart.
Uryu.
The instant the kid muttered that infantile word, she felt pain in the half of her face that had started hurting from the floor, as though it had been pierced by long, thin, hard needles. Without thinking, she pressed her hand against that side of her face.
Are you alright? Does it still hurt?
Thanks. I'm fine, little one. Where are we? It's really cold.
Come this way. You mustn't stay here.
That child took my other hand and pulled with a grim expression on his face. Rosa had no clue what was going on, neither do I. However, a single honest expression on a child can often tell the truth better than 100 words from an adult. She didn't know the situation, but even so, she danced along with him. But this was a world where nothing could be seen in the darkness. I can't feel on close. I didn't even really feel like she was moving forwards. Even though she was running, she couldn't feel any wind. It was as though she was still inside a nightmare. That kind of unreal sensation. So even though I ran, I couldn't maintain my sense of balance, and my legs got tangled and I fell. Even in a world that didn't feel real, the pain of smashing my face against the floor was reality itself.
Uryu, are you okay?
Sorry, my head hurts. When the kid said the infantile word Uryu, pain like being stuck with needles ran through my head again. Even though it had only happened twice, I was somehow able to understand that the child's word was the cause of my pain. So I said frankly, I'm sorry. Could you stop saying Uryu?
Uryu,
Didn't I tell you to stop? Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I voiced him wrong. I'm sorry.
oh, sorry.
What is this child? I know there's no malice in him, but when I'm around this child, my head hurts. When I'm around this child, my hand glows, and it makes me want to hit him. Is that what you want to say, Maria? Or Maria? Is that what you want to say, Rosa? Huh? You okay? Oh, I keep voicing him wrong.
Are you okay? Let's go, quickly. You mustn't stay here, Uryu.
Why shouldn't I be here? Where is this? Who are you? Where's your mom?
The one who made me is you, Mama.
Huh? The child stared at me with round eyes. The kid's mama is me? Who is this? I don't remember.
Did you forget about me? You made me, right?
Wait, stop kidding. Maria's my only child. That's right, where is she? Where is she? Maria? I suddenly grew nervous about Maria not being there. Why am I all alone here? Where's Maria? I'm only able to be me because Maria's there for me.
Maria's here, but she's not Maria right now. It's better if you don't meet with her. It's better for your sake and Maria's as well, Uryu. Maria's sake as well, escape.
Huh? What are you saying? Where's Maria? Oh my god, girl! Wait, this is scary. Maria's gonna find you? And they're playing that ominous ass fucking clock sound effect I don't like. What if this is the Maria that's been consumed by hatred in the world and asked Beatrice for the dark magic?
Maria's gonna find you. Come this way quickly, Mama.
The child put on my hand again. He was probably pulling me in the opposite direction from Maria, so I stopped walking. Go? Just who are you? What gives you the right to call me Mama?
Mama's the one who made me. Did you forget? Maria's birthday present. You made me with your own hands. Did you forget?
Uh-oh. You couldn't be. Sakataro?
Yes. The lion stuffed animal Mama made.
Oh. A fierce sharp pain struck me. It came from the palm he grasped with his hand. When he knocked his hand away without thinking, it looked at my palm. A hole the size of a thumb had opened there and deep red blood gushed out. It was a hole so big I could see through to the other side.
Uryu! Are you okay? Are you okay? What's wrong with you?
Sakataro noticed my wound and panicked. As far as I could tell by looking at him, he couldn't understand why my hand sustained such a serious injury. But in my eyes, it felt like I'd been injured because he grabbed me. Regardless of whether there was malice in him, I understood that this child was something that would do harm to me, and he instantly seemed eerie. Go away, you have nothing to do with me? Disgusting, crappy stuffed animal? I don't know you, I'm not your mama. Go away, disappear.
Ooh, you.
Slowly, the base of Sakataro's neck was sliced in a horizontal line. It gaped open and pitch-black insides peeked out. No blood. Only an empty darkness peeked out. Then from the insides of the gash, cotton snow poured out. And as bits of cotton scattered, he slumped over. And all that remained was a crumpled yellow cloth and bits of cotton that looked like sticky, crushed cotton candy. A lion stuffed animal, without a doubt. These were the remains of the Sakataro stuffed animal I tore apart that day while overcome by my emotions. The instant I realized that, a long, sharp shriek that could rupture an eardrum tore the world apart. Wait, guys, I'm scared as fuck. Oh no, it's a continuation. Like a flood from a broken dam or like a broken TV, Moria cried out in a high-pitched voice. A voice which made the ears throb brought up two emotions in me. One was regret. One was regret. Yes, I was overcome by emotions and went overboard. It was a mother's desire to kneel down right away, hold Maria's head, cry with her, and apologize. In actual fact, I did that right away. I held Maria's head and apologized, crying, but Maria didn't stop. On the contrary, she rejected me, the one who had torn her closest friend apart, and pushed me away forcefully. I'd been on my knees in an unnatural position, so I fell backwards. Maria scraped together the yellow scraps of cloth and cotton bits, buried her face in them, and cried more. Watching that, another emotion wound up, rapidly, and then it burst. After all, she refused to make up with me even though I'd apologized, and there was nothing else. Rage? Fucking rage is what's welling up in you? You're a fucking piece of shit! She's too busy playing with stuffed animals all the time like this. She can't make any friends, and that's why people treat her like a freak. This is a perfect opportunity to give her some instructive guidance. After all, it's not like I was pampered all the time. Everything eventually breaks, is stolen, is destroyed. Even I had lots of toys and treasure stolen, broken, mocked, and thrown away by my brothers and sisters and father and mother. But when I cried about that, while I might have shed a few tears, not once did I sob like this and trouble my parents, throw a tantrum, get mad, hit the floor, and kick and make a racket. Even though I always wanted to, I thought I'd get in more trouble if I did. So I always held it back. It's because I held it back that I really don't like it when, like, visual novels use all caps. That I don't know why, but it scares me. It scares me a lot when things are in all caps. It just genuinely freaks me out, man. It's because I held it back that I was able to become the wonderful adult that I am now. At that moment, I felt something strange.
The same feeling as when you use a tool recklessly and it finally breaks, so that only the base is left. But I wasn't using a tool. I'd just been repeatedly... I'd just been repeatedly hitting Maria's head with both hands. So I looked at my hands. From my wrists onwards, my hands had broken off, splintered, and disappeared. So only that part of my arms had become ceramic. As though all of me from the wrists onwards had suddenly become ceramic and broken and fallen. I must have gotten filled with cracks because I hit Maria too much before falling off. Hi, Hui. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Ah! There was no pain. The shocking sight of my hands breaking off from the wrists onwards made me scream. Hey, her hands are right there, pointing at her sprite. LOL. Haha, that's silly game. Her hands are right there. You deserve this and worse, actually. Ah, my hands, ah. This way you won't be able to hit me anymore. Maria spoke with an icy voice, slowly moving her hands away from her head where they'd been defending against my barrage. What's happening? Your fucking comeuppance! Your karma! Where? What'd you do? Where? Hurry up and die. Behind Maria's back, a black silhouette had appeared. It was the silhouette of an adult. Her stand! Beatrice! If she'd used those hands for patting her daughter's head, flipping through picture books, or making warm meals, it may have been worth leaving them on. Woohoo! Yeah! Pain! Mama hit my head more than she patted it. She never opens picture books. She doesn't even make me food. I have to go buy it myself. But I mustn't go to the same store more than once. Mustn't have my face remembered. Mustn't talk to the policeman. Why? Why's that? Is it my fault? I'm not allowed to have Mama pat my head, have picture books read to me, or eat dinner with Mama? Why not? Why not? I didn't do anything wrong. It's not my fault, it's Mama's! Mama's fault! Persona. Mama wouldn't play with me, but Sakataro did. He even read books, watched TV, and ate meals with me. He was a much better friend than Mama was. You're not proud of it, but you repeated that behavior like constantly, so... What am I supposed to do? I'm busy with work at... Yeah, I'm sure. You're that 3-day vacation with your boyfriend? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. True enough. It was unavoidable. Unavoidable that you'd injure your daughter, tearing her heart apart and making her tears run with blood. In that case, there's no avoiding the same thing happening again right here, right now. Come, Maria. Enough of the excuses from a woman who calls herself a mother. Can you forgive her or not?
Is she innocent or guilty?
Guilty! Guilty!
I make Mama meet the same fate she gave to Sakataro. Take Mama from the seam at the neck and tear her apart so we can see the cotton inside her. Yay! Maria's eyes ominously flashed blue. Sans? In that instant, invisible massive arms stuck their fingernails out and tightly grasped Rosa's entire body. As the bones all over her body made a sound like twigs being stepped on, they cracked readily and broke apart. Yay! Rosa understood vaguely. The massive arms were probably her own from the time she'd torn Sakataro apart. From a stuffed animal's perspective, her arms certainly would have been this massive. So she could imagine what would happen next. The sharp nails stuck deep into the base of her neck, and she heard the skin tearing with her own ears. And as the two witches watched over her, Rosa's flesh was split in two, top and bottom. When Sakataro had been torn apart, bits of cotton had flown about like snowflakes. But in Rosa's case, something like black, thick tar came up, filthily flying all over the place. There wasn't even a trace of the red of blood. It was something black, filthy, and thick. It was probably what a bloodless, tearless human kept inside their body.
Woo! Yeah!
Incredible. This is hideous. What filthy insides. Splendidly done, Maria. Well then, is this enough for your revenge? Can you forgive your mother or not? Innocent or guilty? Woohoo! 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 Yes, that's right, Maria! She's guilty as sin! When Beatrice brandished her pipe cane, gold butterflies seeped up and restored Rosa's broken flesh in an instant. Oh wow, callback to episode 3, huh? What with Avatrice doing stuff like this and playing with the lives of others. But in that case, it wasn't deserved. In this case, it very much is. Talk about indignation, huh? Righteous indignation. Feel the depths of your sin, which cannot be repaid by a single human life. And remember your own great sin. Try and remember. Remember the scale of your sin. Wow. Is it Mama? When will you get home? I'll call back to this. I'm busy with work today, so I'm staying over. No, you're not. You're on vacation, bitch. Fucking liar. Chicken my damn ass. Oh, be happy if you came home that much sooner instead of getting cake.
Fucking liar! Liar!
I promise you broke how many promises? It's a lonely story, but isn't this mother-daughter love wonderful with both looking out for the other? Do you see any problem with it, Maria? Rosa? I kept that promise, didn't I? The next evening, didn't I do as promised, buying a cake and returning earlier than usual? That evening, a pay-on-delivery package came from Mama, but there wasn't enough money in the wallet. So I called Mama's company to ask what to do. I was told I needed to call at special times, but I thought it'd be bad if the package was something important for Mama's work. So I called. Then I was told that Mama had the day off. I was told that it had been decided long ago that Mama would have that day off and that she'd gone far away to play. I knew the whole time. I knew Mama was lying. Sakataro scolded me, saying that it wasn't true. Every day Mama was busy with work. There was no way she'd abandoned Maria and play. He said that the person who told us Mama had the day off must have made some kind of mistake. That's what Sakataro said. So I believed it. I believed it. I love Mama. I love her. Oh. Of course Mama says that she loves me. Loves me. Oh my god. You lying son of a gun. You're in a hotel room doing this? Me too, I love you, Maria. Marissa let out a deep sigh. Maybe she felt the weight of her words. Then she set the receiver on the bedside phone down. The dark room made the starry sky and the ground below the windows stand out even more beautifully. On the table in front of the terrace was a very cold wine cooler. And the one she shared a glass with was gazing at the scene below. Oh wow, here we go. You didn't tell your daughter you were on vacation? I told her once, but she was so noisy I decided not to tell her anymore. It's less work that way. If you're worried about your daughter, you didn't have to force yourself to put this in your schedule, right? That way we'd never get our schedules to match. Didn't I say not to worry about that? The slender middle-aged man clad in a white robe gave a small sigh. Russell reacted instantly to that slight action. Let's not talk about my daughter. It'd be a waste of this precious wine. I find you fascinating. You an interesting critter, bro. You an interesting critter, Rosa. I find you fascinating as both a woman and a human being. But for that very reason, I feel bad about taking so much of your time that it strains your relationship with your daughter. Don't I always tell you not to worry about my relationship with my daughter? I try not to talk about it when I'm alone with you, okay? I wouldn't even have phoned from here if it weren't for the noisy drunk laughing stupidly in the lobby downstairs. When your fucking boyfriend, when the person you're seeing is more of a parent than your actual mother, that's fucking crazy. That's actually insane. Can't you reconsider taking extended vacations like this in the future for your daughter's sake? Isn't it enough if we only meet when our schedules match? Our schedules will never match up that way, right? And I always want to be with you. And that's a child's way of loving. Loving between adults should be a bit more stoic. Not being able to be with you for long periods of time makes me lonely too. However, I think we can enjoy more than enough adult loving during that limited time. You're telling me to be with my daughter more. Be a mother, not a... Bitch, what the fuck? What part of this did he say? Oh my fucking god. Okay, so that's one, a whole new sentence. Two, even if that was a whole ass new sentence, he's right anyways. He's right. He's still right no matter how you read that. Man! That's what you want too, right? You must also want to spend lots of time with your daughter. I won't run away. I'm trying to say that I think it's sad for you to sacrifice your daughter so you can prioritize your time with me. And she immediately jumps to conclusions. Alright, did you get back on good terms with your wife? Looks like you've had enough enough of being separated from her. I don't want to talk about my wife. Just like you don't want to talk about your daughter. I'm sure you think single women with children are a pain. I've never said anything of the sort before. Whenever someone finds out I have a child, they desert me. Even if I tell them not to worry about paying that child's living expenses, they all desert me. I thought you understood about my daughter, but I guess you don't like single women with children after all. That's not what I'm saying. I've not started to dislike you, Rosa. I'm just trying to tell you to take better care of your daughter. Something I know you wish for yourself. And I don't want you to hurt yourself by lying to her. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
Bro, just get up and leave. Just get up and leave. She's not worth it. I've just become a burden for you, right? That's a whole ass new sentence. Oh, I know, I understand. That we're being abandoned so many times because of that child. I know. I can tell by your mood. You're already like those other men. You don't want a woman with a child. You don't want a divorcee because that's a pain. You don't want to become the parent of a child made with another man, right? That's right. I totally get it. I once went out with a man with children, so I really get how you feel. That's why I believed I'd be able to get together with you, a person who understood my daughter. Shaking my damn head. You were always in the way. So it all comes out in full force. You were always in the way of my happiness? Kill her ass. Kill her ass! Even I didn't want you to be born. I thought I might be able to build a happy family together with you. That man disappeared right before your birth. He said he'd build a warm family with me, tricked me, and disappeared from my sight for all eternity. Only you were left. No love or memories or anything remained. Where'd that man go? He probably just turned my days with him into a warm memory and met with a new love. That time he might have been able to create a happy family. And as for me, I have you. I can't even look for a new love. Men can go between women as they like and brag about it. But for a woman, for me... Oh, okay, so this is her personal misogyny. Okay. I gotcha. I gotcha. If all... So it really is true. It really is true. All of the Ushinomiyas just have differing forms of misogyny. I gotcha now. Krause's misogyny is that he inherently believes that women are beneath men. Rose's misogyny... Rose's misogyny is that she hates fucking Maria, but can't get with other men. That's her misogyny. What was Ava's misogyny? Wow, it really is just like different flavors of misogyny. Wow. The misogyny spectrum. Rudolph's misogyny is that he's a man whore. He objectifies women and spreads himself like a whore. I'm not sure what Ava's misogyny is. I think it's just inherited misogyny of Krause as well. She treats the way Kinzo treated her, she also treats Roseanne like other women too.
She's tweaking.
Stone, wait!
Can't search for romance, can't find love, and I can only live alone. Wasn't even allowed a night to drink myself drunk all alone. Who are you? Who? Wasted my life and won't even let me have a new life. Just who are you to my life? I've hated you since the time you were born. I've hated you since the time you were in my womb. This is too much even for her. I was stuck being both a mother and a woman. Whoever showed appreciation for my efforts. No one admired me, no one praised me. I got what I deserved. Secondhand goods. Divorcees should... Who's saying these things? You don't want anyone who's not a virgin. I'm the one who doesn't want anything to do with you, you damn inexperienced virgin. She's crashing out, actually! Yes, I was desperate. You probably couldn't imagine how desperate a woman like me, who's still at the age where she wants to know love, was. When I realized that my time was being filled with work and caring for my child, so that I'd probably grow old and end my life still like this. Of course I hate your real father too. We both share the blame for bringing about that catastrophe. I myself might have been persistent enough to make him run away, but the catastrophes after that were all your fault. When did I ever scold you for that? The day after one man left me when I wanted to drink myself dead drunk was Parents' Day at your school. When I tried to hide my tear-stained eyes with heavy makeup. The way I felt when you said something off the mark and the whole class laughed at you. It's something not only you, but probably everyone in the world couldn't understand. I hate you. Both you. And until now, I've never really loved you even once. What do you do when you're Maria in this situation? When your mother tells you she never wanted you? What are you supposed to do? Maria's face was still stiff. If the words really had been blades, Maria's whole body would probably be stained red with fresh blood by now. Even after gaining the power of a witch and resolving herself to take revenge for Sakotaro, she couldn't stand these curses coming out of her mother's mouth. Oh... Ugly. How ugly is a woman drowning in lust? Now you see this woman's true nature. Even I, as a witch who's explored the depths of evil, find this most difficult to watch. Yes, kill her! Kill her now! Smash the ugly lump of meat that calls herself your mother.
It'd be pointless for your pure soul to be bound by the chains between mother and daughter any longer. With your own hand. Release your own soul now! You've now gained tooth and claw to protect yourself. Aren't you the one who's been hurting me? Shut up! Shut up! If only you hadn't been born. She's the real witch. She's the real witch of Rokenjima. Are you kidding me? This is a real witch. This is what a real witch looks like, everybody. As Rosa howled, in a way that can only be described by the word splat, her upper body was crushed and in an instant became something similar to a wrung, blood-stained tower. You crushed. I can't forgive you, can't forgive you. What filth. That form suits you. Even though Rosa's waist and below was standing normally, just the upper half of her body had been pinched. That extreme contrast was bizarre. Then she fell over, but the instant she did, her body was restored. Yeah! Woohoo! How does she still have the energy to be a hater? What the fuck? You die? Oh, she's fucking lost it. Oh, Maria. This is the limit of your anger and sadness. Now's the time for revenge. For the settlement of anger and sadness. Hit her. Spit it out. Push out all of the wedges driven into your chest and fling them back at her. Just go fucking crazy, Maria! Go on, you stupid! Maria's howl was adorned with the ugly sound of flesh and bone being crushed at the same time. As Rosa, who had foully insulted Maria, lay spread-eagled, a neat, perfect circle was cut out of her chest and crushed, as though her chest had been trampled by an invisible elephant. Her heart and her lungs and ribs were trampled so mercilessly that they were completely indistinguishable. It might have symbolized the pain in Maria's heart up until today. So, Maria, are you satisfied now? Can you forgive your mother for her sin? Or not? Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Guilty, guilty, guilty! Yes! No, it's Rosa. Try to remember, what form did you have? Revive in order to be killed. Be killed over and over so that your sins can be purified. Beta waved her cane, the body was restored yet again, and Rosa sat up, coughing violently in apparent pain. And once again, she spat out curses rejecting Maria. You aren't Mama. You're a witch tormenting me and Mama. I won't forgive you just because you look like Mama. I won't forgive you. Always reading creepy books and pretending to play with witches. You're the one who should say, shut up! Shut up!
If only you had been shut up! She's exceeded like what being a hater is. They need to make up a new word for her. What she's doing right now, there needs to be a new word. Maria screamed. Was she unable to bear her anger and sadness? Or else had she been taken over by an indescribable emotion? It was surely a cry of hopelessness. Yet it was a reality that had to be accepted. Maria knew. She knew that she was thought of as a burden. But even though she herself had known that, she didn't believe it. She believed that her mother loved her and had done her best to positively interpret several events that could have made her doubt this. Trusting and clinging to her mother's love. But she had no one except Mama. Even so, she really did like Mama and wanted to return to the days when she believed that Mama loved her. So I howled. I'll erase all of it. I won't accept it. I'll deny it. I'll deny the mother who says these things, the black witch who makes her say them, and the part of myself that can't forgive my mother. But I can't deny it. This is reality, fact, the truth, the answer. Without mistake, this is reality. Maria turned Rosa into a lump of meat over and over. Over and over in the dark world that reflected her heart, rang the ugly sound of flesh and bone being torn apart, which would make anyone want to cover their ears. Each time she revived Rosa, she dragged her back into the world of endless torture which could not even be escaped from even by death. This was the true, deepest hell the endless witch Beatrice could create. However, this world was not made endless by Beatrice's will. Because every time Rosa turned into a lump of meat, she asked the same question to Maria. Are you satisfied, Maria? Can your anger forgive your mother yet? Ah! Give it to hatred! Give it to anger! Ah! That's right. Where's your fucking anger? Rise! Rise! Where's your anger? I can't get rid of the anger and sadness of being neglected so long. How was she? Wow! Revive over and over again. Return to a meat lump over and over again. In various ways, she crushed, smashed, beat, and tore to bits. Flying blood spattered, and flesh turned the once pitch-black world into a world mixed with red and black. Maria's anger still hadn't calmed down. It was though she was spitting out all of the suppressed rage from the time of her birth till now. If that all became poison to her heart, then would the repeated murder of her mother purify her soul? Would even this wasteful murder save her soul, at least a little bit? The endless torture might have become a slight diversion from her sad, unrewarded life. After all, it seemed that she'd finally been able to regain her smile. Ah! Learn it. You, the source of my unhappiness, learn it. Learn that what you're feeling is nothing compared to my pain. Ah! What's wrong? Why'd you stop laughing? Try and laugh. Ah! Half of her skull collapsed. Eyeballs flew out and black cranial fluid gushed. Fragments of teeth scattered. Oh, now Maria's off the deep end. Deservedly so now.
Come on, Revive, try and laugh. Come on, come on.
Her whole chest along with her ribs turned inside out, exposing her filthy innards. All of them writhed like some kind of impure creature.
Come on, come on, come on, Revive. Can you still laugh? Can you still laugh?
Oh, she's fucked up in that. Rosa couldn't laugh anymore, but her face was laughing. It was filled with a twisted laugh and covered with a mouth that rejected her unwanted daughter. They erased that laughing voice, and next that face. I'll erase it, I'll crush it, I'll tear it to bits. Oh, Maria. Where did we go wrong?
Is she okay? Laugh, try and laugh, Mama. What's wrong, Mama? Let's wake up, read a picture book, and go take a walk. Let's say we love each other, make a promise for next Sunday. Let's go shopping, let's go to the movies. And of course he'll break that promise.
Oh no.
That's right, you're playing with your mother, having fun with her. Tell her how you feel right now. I don't believe it's anger or sadness or pain. That's right, I get it, Beatrice. I'm having a lot of fun now. I'm playing with Mama, so it's tons of fun. And even though I'm killing Mama and over again, she can be revived with just a single bit of magic. I took care of my toys because I couldn't fix them if they broke. But if the toys could be fixed, I'd want to break it over and over again. But Sakataro won't be fixed. He can't be fixed. Because Mama who made him, Mama who gave birth to him, won't acknowledge him. I wasn't acknowledged by Mama either, was I? So the broken Maria won't be fixed either.
Maria? Are you good? Are you okay, Maria? Oh, she good. Yeah, that's right. Get back to killing your mama. That's cool. That's good, man. That's good fun.
Since it's gotten so fun, I'm somehow starting to feel I could forgive you. Hey, Beta, this is a really strange feeling. Why? Why am I starting to feel like I could forgive Mama? That enlightened state is only reached by witches who have gained the power to control life and death at will. You can kill at any time. You can revive her if needed. If that's a pain, then it's alright to kill her again. Once you've learned, you can do this at any time by simply snapping your finger. All nonsense spoken in the world of humans becomes a chirping of insects that's not worth listening to. You didn't begin to think about forgiving your mother because your eyes were open to your mother's love. It was because now, you stand at the entrance to the world of true witches. Welcome, Maria, to the profound and sweet world of witches. Maria's no longer Maria. You're Maria Trich now. I may still be an apprentice, but I've surpassed the human world. I'm now the apprentice witch of Origins, Maria. There's nothing to frustrate me, nothing to make me sad. Mama, I'll forgive you. I'm sure I can. I think I'll be able to forgive you after doing just a bit more. After all, I'm a witch.
Ah! Me when I'm eating my burger and it tastes really good, that I start laughing between bites. Maria would probably forgive her mother eventually, after brutally murdering her countless times. Graciously. Wow. Wow, what a section. Wow. She deserved it. LOL, she deserved it. LOL. She deserved it. LOL. I'll be right back. I gotta go pee. That's what I'm saying. I know that's right. Okay. It's getting a little hot. Let me turn on my air conditioner for a second.
Hello. Okay. Where did I... There it is. I'll go for a bit longer and then I'll stop for a bit because I do want to conserve my voice a little bit for Monday. Maybe like another hour or something. We'll see. Also, thank you. Oh, that thunder was loud. Must have been pretty close, right? Looks like it. No matter how old you get, thunder still makes you jump. Battler was looking at the dark night through a crack in the curtains. Every once in a while, a pale white lightning bolt would shine, and he seemed to be enjoying it. Miss Maria, like she didn't just come back from a bloodbath. Huh? Look, you were so noisy you woke Maria up. Sorry, Maria. Battler's so frickin' loud. What the hell? So it's my fault? Sorry, Maria. It's okay to go back to sleep. Good night. Maria was a bit hazy with drowsy eyes. She was probably half asleep and couldn't think straight. That's okay. Me no sleep. Go ahead and sleep. You're still half asleep, aren't you? Yeah. I'm not half asleep. Oh. Come on, you're totally half asleep, aren't you? Sleep, sleep. I'm not half asleep, I'm not! Quit it, stupid battler! What are you thinking getting a kid who's just woken up into a bad mood? You made her cry! I'm not half asleep, I'm not half asleep! I understand, Maria. You're not half asleep. So, calm down. Okay, you're not half asleep, damn! Maybe it was because of her delicate mental state after waking up, but Maria suddenly threw a tantrum. Battle had only been trying to tease her a bit, so he was confused by this extreme overreaction. George held her head trying to calm her down, but Maria's tantrum wasn't going to be quelled easily. Battler and Jessica were trying to push the blame on each other, saying it's your fault too. Hey, be quiet, you two. Jessica, there was still some hot water in the pot, right? Could you make some tea for her? Did you calm down, Maria? It looked like her tantrum was dying down bit by bit, but she still glared at Battler, who had made fun of her with sharp eyes. Battler was just kidding around. He doesn't really think you're half asleep. So calm down, okay? George noticed. Maria was staring at Battler with incredible eyes. Oh! And despite having just displayed all that emotion, she laughed in a small voice. Oh, hell no! It's the return of Tweaking Maria! Oh, hell no! Instead of a laugh, it seemed more like she was muttering while thinking about, or else counting each he. As though each time she said he, something brutal would happen over and over. George felt something creepy for just an instant, but he couldn't spot the madness that peeked out of the depths of the girl's eyes for just a moment. After a short period of stunned silence on George's part, Maria stopped her bizarre, quiet laugh and pushed George's arm aside as though telling him to let go. Ooh. I'll forgive him. Really? You're such a good girl, Maria. Battle-kun, Maria-chan forgave you. Make up. Yeah, Sorry for teasing you. Forgive me. That's not tea, that's coffee! I'll put in lots of sugar so it'll be sweet. I don't need it, but I'll forgive you. 'Cause I'm a witch. Oh, fuck, that's right! Anytime a witch comes into the game, that's actually them! Oh, fuck. This is some spooky shit. One more time, Maria laughed in a creepy, quiet voice. But only for a short time, so Battler and Jessica didn't think much of it. They decided to think that it had probably only looked that way when the lightning glittered chick with a pale white light for an instant. Yeah, when she said forgive, oh brother. At the time they could hear the sound of loud footsteps coming from the hall. It was already about 10:30 at night. Late at night is usually a time when you aren't supposed to be disturbed. Wow, thank you for that. Hearing footsteps at a time like this was far from calming. They could hear Goda and Kumasawa's voice. I clearly told them this was an abnormal situation. It's Kumasawa, is everyone okay? Oh, what's happened? What's happened? When George opened the door, the two of them tumbled in, sopping wet. It looked like they had dashed here from the mansion without an umbrella. What's wrong, you two? Did something happen? Oh! It was a pitch-black room. No windows, and with the weak light bulb, one could just barely make out the state of things around them. It appeared to be an old, forgotten underground storage room with some kind of dusty furniture haphazardly thrown into it. However, even with just a little light, one could at least make out that it probably wasn't a storage room. After all, it was sealed off with iron bars. Where is this? I don't know. Will this be underneath the mansion? Has there always been a room like this directly underneath the dining hall? He had dropped into what appeared to be a pit falling into this room. Therefore, it was natural to assume it was directly under the dining hall. Yet even Kraus couldn't bring himself to believe that there were pitfalls rigged in his beloved dining hall where he enjoyed his meals for years, and that this dungeon-like room lay directly beneath it. But the ceiling above was of crude stone craftsmanship, and they couldn't understand how they could have fallen from somewhere up there. All five who had been dropped here thought the same thing. Although they'd had the sensation of falling into a pit, there was no way there could be pitfalls in the dining hall, nor could this dungeon-like place be directly under it. But the truth was, they actually had fallen into this place and were locked in, so they were confused. It's lucky no one was hurt after falling from such a height. Shannon, Cannon, did either of you two know about this room? No, we did not know of this room either. Really? We really don't know about a room like this. Despite their age, Kyrie apparently wouldn't have found it odd if they, as servants allowed to wear the one-winged eagle, might know of the mansion's secret tricks. There was a long silence as if Kraus was evaluating their answer. No, it's probably true that you don't know. After all, this is the clean freak Shannon we're talking about. If she knew about this room, she'd probably scrub this place until it was sparkling. The filth of this room is proof you two don't know of it. More importantly, I think we should worry about what to do next.
Exactly. We need to call the police, or rather administer first aid as soon as possible.
Linda's words were hollow. Obviously, 6 people had been killed in the dining hall. Everybody had seen the exact moment when they'd been killed. And since half of their heads had been destroyed, anyone could tell the deaths had been instant with just a single glance. Everyone understood that first aid no longer held any meaning.
Oh.
Thank you, Dr. Nanjo. We already understand our partners are no longer alive. Thanks for trying to console us by mentioning first aid.
Oh.
Natsui.
Once again, a gloomy silence dominated the atmosphere. But Kraus shook his head harshly over and over, and for the time being, decided to forget the pain of losing his wife and to dedicate himself to figuring out where they were.
Everyone, listen to me. Other is hopeless now. We've passed the point of searching for a reason or an explanation that can be expressed in words.
Nobody answered. Without any discussion or mercy, 6 people had been killed in an instant. And Kinzo had even been so bold as to proclaim that we'd become sacrifices for a ceremony involving 13 murders. Since we've been locked up in this place, we too will probably become the ceremony's next sacrifices soon. Around this time, our eyes became used to the darkness, and bit by bit we were able to understand more about the dungeon's interior. What? What we thought was furniture left in the dungeon wasn't furniture. They were more like small cages to lock people in, restraints or torture racks. This was obviously more eerie than a mere jail cell. So Kinzo was getting freaky. Freak-zo. Since the objects were rusted together and coated in thick dust, there was no doubt that they had been forgotten. You could even call these things Kinzo sealed and forgotten madness. However, we've been locked away in this room. The objects weren't exactly comforting the people who were locked up, hoping to be released without harm.
At any rate, let's get out of here. We've lost loved ones and friends, and like to spend some time shedding tears. More than that, I'm worried for the children.
I wonder if the children are safe.
All we can do is pray. Come to think of it, Kumasawa and Goda aren't here.
Perhaps they were able to get away safely.
You never know. It'd be a relief if they were able to meet up with the children.
When the going gets tough, Goda-san's reliable, and Kumasawa-san's knowledgeable and calm. I'm sure they'll be able to help the children.
Yes, that certainly would be comforting.
Shannon and Kraus smiled bitterly a little. But they quickly realized how improper that was and stopped clearing their throats. We can't be optimistic, Nessa. There's a chance they've already been attacked after we were. I agree. What Father carried out in the dining hall was the 6 murders of the first twilight from the witch's epitaph, right? Then the second twilight is to tear apart the 2 who were close. 2 who are close. That would have to mean it's probably Shannon and Cannon, right? I don't think there's really any other 2 candidates left to apply here. Okay, it's either Shannon and Cannon or George and Shannon.
But typically when it was the two are close, it was always George and Shannon, yeah? Yeah, so it has to be them, yeah. Or it could take a turn for the worse, and suddenly Jessica and Shannon as well. Or Cannon, I mean. I totally forgot about them. Okay, so it's either of those two pairs, not Shannon and Cannon. My mistake. We can't cling to the optimistic idea that they must have gotten to the guest house and are protecting the children. My neck. Kirie coldly analyzed the worst-case scenario. For her, it was heartbreaking to have lost her beloved husband. But right now, the most important thing was protecting that husband's son, along with the other children from becoming the insane family had sacrifices. She overcame her sadness with the parental urge to protect children from sorrow. It seemed that both Kirie and Kraus were strong enough to forget about their grief if only for the time being. They would let their tears flow later. In order to protect the children, they had to act. That's right, we've never seen Kraus at the forefront like this either. It's good to know that when the going gets tough, that they will always put the children at the front. I think that's like the number one thing I see reoccurring with the adults at least.
It seems to be a rather old sound. Can we break the bars with something? Let's try searching the room for some way to escape.
I wonder if there's any torture tools lying around all these torture cages. They might be useful as torture weapons, or to break the torture bars. Kirie pulled a torture lighter from her torture pocket. She herself didn't torture smoke, but she kept one tucked away in her torture pocket to light Rudolph's torture cigarettes. It was an extremely valuable source of light for searching this dim torture dungeon.
Shannon, help Kirie-san search the room. Cannon, you help me check out these bars. It is a very old sound. The bars could be loose. Dad, what should I help with? Please just keep up your strength. Father will probably come soon. You're the only one whose words will reach him. In a way, you might be holding our lives in your hands. My words will no longer reach him, I think. I'm sorry, but I don't think I believe I will be of any use.
Then how about your expertise as a doctor? I wonder if there exists a drug that can make people instantly faint. A drug that makes people instantly faint? Anesthesia? Anesthesia? But what does that fall under? What's that actually called? Anesthesia. Chemicone. Halothane, isoflurane, desflurane, sevoflurane, as well as the gaseous nitrous oxide. Intravenous include propofol, ketamine, and etomidate. Or etomidate, whatever the fuck, whatever. Seems propofol seems to be the most common, though. What are you talking about? We believe we fell through a pit and landed in this dungeon. In that panic-stricken moment, that's what we believe happened. But I measured the breadth of this room and came to a realization. This dungeon can't be underneath the dining hall. Oh! So maybe they got drugged and dragged off here. Maybe that'll be Battler's explanation. You're an idiot, Netsan. Compared to the dining hall, this dungeon is too cramped. Exactly. The first person to fall was Kraus-Nisan. The second was me. When you fell into this room, did you move from that spot, Kraus-Nisan?
It's embarrassing to say, but the landing hurt, and I lay there groaning in pain. Immediately after that, Kirie-san came crashing down next to me.
The distance between where we were standing and the places where we landed is clearly off.
Certainly, when you put it that way. I was the next to fall, so I remember fairly well where you two were standing. The distance between you two and the dining hall might have been greater than this entire room.
We fell into a pit and directly dropped down here. It's not like we fell into multiple interlocking pipes and were all collected here. The fall was instant, wasn't it? I don't remember rolling around in some sort of elaborate water pipe system.
True. True? True. We can't explain it with a pitfall. What a strange tale.
What's that have to do with the drug Kirie-san was talking about? Kirie is probably thinking there were no pitfalls in the dining hall, correct?
But in reality, we did fall.
More accurately, we felt as though we fell into pits. That was only natural. After all, we experienced something that couldn't be described any other way.
In other words, this is what you want to say. We didn't fall into pits. We were attacked with something like a blow dart, for example, and lost consciousness instantly. It could be that we just remember the instant we fell to the floor as though we were falling through a pit. I see. That's a much more persuasive argument than there being numerous pitfall traps in the dining hall we've never noticed, even after decades eating there.
Nessa, do you have a watch?
Ah.
I have a pocket watch. It's about 2240. So about 1040. My watch says the same. In short, it's only been a bit more than 10 minutes since that uproar in the dining hall at most.
My watch has the same time. That's much too short a time to knock us out and carry us somewhere. Judging only from the time, it's reasonable to assume we did fall through a hole leading directly underneath the dining hall.
They could have tampered with the watch hands as much as they wanted. True. While we were passed out, they may have wound everyone's watches back. We're incapable of proving that this possibility doesn't exist. She's too smart for this. No wonder they would always kill her off. She's too smart for this, dude.
Whether it was a pitfall or a drug that induces fainting, it doesn't change the fact we need to be on guard.
Well then, Dr. Nanjo,
Is there a drug that can do that? Well, it's the same as your reasoning, Kirie. I can't prove there isn't a drug with that effect I don't know about.
as they say, you can never be too careful. Sorry, it was a useless question. I just thought that with my hypothesis, I could suggest that this dungeon might not necessarily be directly underneath the hall.
I see. There's always the possibility we were carried off to the hidden mansion they say Father built in the middle of the forest. If we can escape from here and get outside, we'll know.
Exactly. I'm truly sorry. I've only been asking about and prying into useless things. I'm starting to get a little, woozy. No, not woozy. Sleepy. It's because it's so hot. Let me turn something on to cool myself down.
Uh, Why does it have to be so damn hot? Where's my Wawa? Blah, blah, blah. Oh my god. Oh, that's good. I love staying hydrated. I'm gonna have to pee again soon, I bet. I just drank so much fucking water. Oh, I love Wawa. I love water! It tastes so fucking good! Yes! Yes! Okay. It's quite promising. If you notice anything else, please tell us. It might become a hint to escaping from here. Rudolph was always talking about you. He said he was always surprised by your ideas and they would sometimes give him valuable hints. The fact you're here is a blessing within a tragedy. Thank you. I heard something from Rudolph-san as well. He said you usually just swagger about, but when things get serious, you overflow with a sense of responsibility and can be a very dependable older brother.
That's too kind.
Damn. At any rate, these iron bars won't even budge. How about things on your end, Cannon? The sides know better. Cross and Cannon tried wiggling the bars in various ways. There were a few bars that could be twisted, and a few had enough space to rattle a little bit around in, but they couldn't be broken with human strength alone. However, there was still hope if they could use some kind of lever-like tool. It was far too early to give up yet. The children's lives were hanging in the balance. Even if there was no hope, they couldn't stop their struggle. And it was better for them to act this way. If they were to stop, there's no doubt they'd once again be overcome by the grief of losing their loved ones and curl up, clutching their knees. Back to the grandkids? No.
How are you doing, Kirie? Find anything?
I found small stones that we could hold on to and hide. Something like this could probably be used as a weapon. It would probably be impossible to whittle down those iron bars with them. How about you, Shannon? Nothing. Oh, this is... a phone! We could call the kids! No, try it. I doubt it's connected. But we might be able to use the cord as some form of string-based weapon. If we break it, we could take out the metal parts. Kraus, there's a keyhole for opening the bars, right?
Yes. It's a pretty large hole, quite old-fashioned.
If we twist some wire into it, we just might be able to pick it.
We might be able to use the metal parts of the phone as a substitute for something. This phone will become our weapon.
Shouldn't we try the phone first?
And just like investing, our weapon is information.
Kraus and Kirie laughed together at how they hadn't even thought of using the phone as a means of communication. I just wondered if maybe the phone was working.
Dummy.
Huh? What? At that point, Shannon let out a small surprised cry. Oh wait, that's right! Isn't it that like, every time the storm drops in, all the phone lines just die? I totally forgot that's one of the reoccurring things. Whoa! Kirei-sama, this phone, it's connected.
What?
We're going to Rokujima!
What? Oh hell no! Oh hell no!
It was like when people move out of an office, taking everything with them, leaving only the phone behind. That's the feeling the phone gave off, having been left in the corner of the cell. The cord was wound into a coil, the tip of it being swallowed by the wall. And just looking at it, there was no reason to assume it wasn't hooked up. To think it actually was. Kirei took the receiver from Shannon and pressed it to her ear. Certainly the hum of a phone was a familiar sound. And this phone was certainly live.
What good luck! Let's contact the police. Hold on. This is too good to be true. Could it be bugged?
If they were planning a trick like that, normally they'd cut the line. There's a good possibility that they overlooked this. If they noticed, they might actually cut the line this time. There's nothing we could tell the police that would be problematic for us if they overheard. Surely that was true. The point of a wiretap is to overhear some important piece of information. But the way things were right then, she couldn't think of a single thing that would come up in a conversation with the outside world that might be troublesome to have overheard. She instantly concluded it was more likely to be a mistake on Kinzo's part than a trap.
You do have a point. I believe you start with 0 to make calls through the external line.
Cannon, I'm gonna make a phone call. Will you watch how things are out there for me? If you sense somebody coming, let me know.
Yes.
Cannon raced off towards the iron bars, silenced his breathing and strained his ears. As everyone present watched her, Kirie dialed 110. However, she pushed the hook down and redialed many times. It didn't seem to be working very well. The outside line begins with 0. 110 would be 0110 then, right? It doesn't seem to want to go through.
Hand it over here. I'll try to call.
Kraus took the receiver in Kirie's place and tested various things. Anything? How about a call to the guest house? But in the end, they were unable to notify the police. The phone itself was live, but the circuit was apparently cut somewhere. Did this mean that they weren't so naive? No, give the guest house a call! It means our enemies aren't naive either. Kirie let out a deep sigh, leaned against the wall, and hung her head for a while. School thinking as she was, for a brief moment she may actually have had the naive hope the phone might actually work. She sneered at herself mockingly for holding on to that naive hope for even a moment. Then she remembered just what was happening here. Truth be told, even after being shown a scene like that right before her eyes, or rather because of that, she still couldn't think of that gruesome mass murder as something real. It was less she couldn't believe it, and more she didn't want to. Oh, there's that crazed look. Ushinomiya Kinzo killed 6 family members. He summoned strange, witch-like, demon-like people right out of thin air, and with something like magic, began to kill people one after another. It's just all so screwed up. Even though she definitely saw it, there was no way she could accept that spectacle. There's no way that's what happened. Those were obviously father's friends or something. They just hid somewhere in the dining hall beforehand and used some tricks to appear suddenly and fool us. There's no other way to explain something screwed up as that. But when those 6 had their heads blown apart, a golden arrow had flown around the room that had truly looked like magic. Was that another thing we just saw wrong? There's no way it was magic. It was definitely some kind of setup. Since those heads were smashed, there's no doubt it was some kind of explosive. For example, a styrene toy plane like they sell at candy stores painted gold, and with a powerful explosive loaded onto the end of it. However, though it seemed to be flying about at random, Kirie could imagine that after being fired 6 times, each had perfectly hit the victim square in the head one after the other. It couldn't be that there was a CCS for finding and hitting targets, making it a high-tech styrene plane on the same level as a guided missile, right? Who would invest such a large amount of money into developing some stupid trick like that? For that insane sideshow. Does this take us back to the old I wouldn't put it past father? A number of mysterious people appeared out of thin air. 6 had their heads demolished by a mysterious golden flying object. And the 5 of us were locked away in a mysterious dungeon by a mysterious set of pitfalls, or else put to sleep by some fainting poison dart. The family conference started a bit after 2200. It's only been a bit more than 30 minutes since then. Most likely, even though I witnessed it myself, that event took place in a such short period of time I still can't understand it, and I can't come to grips with it. For argument's sake, even if we did get a hold of the police, it would probably be impossible for anybody to accurately explain what we saw. Even though I saw it just now, my brain's fried, and I have no confidence in what I saw myself. Kirie tried her hardest to cheer herself out of her overwhelming confusion to just hold on to her sanity.
Damn it. What's going on here? Damn!
Kraus started to become desperate, hitting the hook multiple times and resetting the dial. He had also been feigning composure but was unable to hide his panic. The more he retried the dial, the more the pretense of serenity peeled away. I don't know what's going on anymore. Kirie couldn't help but pray the events that had just occurred were a dream. At that time, the look in Cross's face changed.
Oh? I got through! It's ringing! Really? How shallow, old man. Since we can't contact the police, the external line's probably been cut, but he failed to sever the internal. I knew it! I knew it!
What'd you call?
The guest house. I'm calling the room where Jessica and the rest are staying. Hello? Hello? It's me. You're... Goda! Is Jessica there? Is she safe?
Yes! Dad? Is it Dad? I'm so glad you're okay. Is Mom okay? Is she there?
Kraus choked on his words.
Kraus had clearly seen Natsu's head crushed. Had seen her killed right before his eyes. Eventually, he was going to have to tell that to Jessica. Yet Cross began to fret over whether he should tell her now or not and lost his words. But even that was an answer under these circumstances.
I don't know about your mother. Let's pray for her safety.
For now, I'm just glad you're safe. Good call, Cross. That's a good call. Yeah, I understand. I'm sorry for asking. Jessica's voice was filled with tears. Cross was certain now. Oh no! Jessica and the rest had heard everything start to finish after meeting up with Goda and Kumasawa at the guest house. No! When they learned that 6 people had been killed, they must have been anxious to rush over to the dining hall. Luckily, he'd been able to call before they'd stormed off towards the mansion. Cross was relieved at this good timing during such a tragedy.
We have Kirie, Dr. Nanjo, as well as Shannon and Cannon here. We've been locked in a place that's like a dungeon, but don't worry. We'll figure something out.
A dungeon? Where? We'll come and save you.
Unfortunately, we can't figure out where this is either.
We think it may be under the dining hall, but that might not be true.
Anyway, Jessica, you must stay where you are. You've heard about what happened from Goda and Kumasawa, yes?
Yeah, grandfather. Everyone.
Grandfather isn't in a sane state of mind right now. If you encounter him, you'll be in danger. You might be killed. You mustn't even think about trying to come and save us. We'll take care of ourselves.
Then what should we do? Damn it, Grandpa. How dare you do that to Mom and the rest? I'll kill him!
Jessica, if you talk like that, you'll sadden your mother. Those aren't the words of a lady.
Oh.
Anyways, put your own safety first. Lock all the guest house doors, but you mustn't overestimate how safe that'll make you. The large window in the first floor lounge might get broken. Stay in your room and use a bed to make a barricade. There's a toilet and fridge in there too, right? You should be able to stay holed up until tomorrow morning. I'll say it again. Don't think of doing anything violent. Don't even think about trying to take revenge from Mom. Only think of hiding and getting through this without provoking our enemies.
Yeah, I understand, Dad. After that, Goda took the phone and was firmly told to supervise the kids well as an adult. Goda, with his face covered in a cold sweat, repeatedly replied, yes sir, in an excessively tense voice. From there, Kirie took the receiver and spoke with Battler, and when Shannon and Ken got their turns, George and Jessica answered. Turns. Following the pattern, Nanjo and Kumasawa picked up as well, so that all members of both sides took the receiver in turn, confirming everyone was safe for now, even if their location was unknown, and encouraging each other, coming to an understanding of the current situation for both sides. You really like this track? This is like the equivalent of, you know, like breakthrough in a case or something or other. They wanted to talk forever. It's like, for me, this is like prelude to that one track in Ace Attorney that eludes me. But it's the breakthrough thing. I can't believe I'm not remembering that, and that's one of my favorite themes. Is it, oh, the pursuit theme, that's what it's called, the pursuit theme. I just remembered. As I typed in Phoenix Wright, I'm like, oh, it starts with the P. Pursuit. The pursuit theme, that's what it is. 13 Sentinels. I gotta get on that shit, bro. I have not been on that for fucking ever.
I bought it like 3 years ago too, by the way. It's just sitting on my desk in a Switch case somewhere. They wanted to talk forever, but now was not the time to chat. House explained that they would be hanging up for now, and those in the guest house consented. It's peak. I've been told multiple times it's peak. If anything happens, we'll call. Wait by the phone so you can pick it up quickly. Again, be careful. Don't do anything rash.
I understand. As long as you and Ken and the others are okay, that's good enough for me. We'll do our best. Stay safe.
Of course. I'm hanging up for now. Be on your guard.
With that, the phone call ended. Gordon and the rest of the men quickly descended to the first floor, closed the shutters, and secured the sturdy locks on the doors. Just as Carl had worried, there was nothing that could be done about the beautiful wide window in the first floor lounge. If someone broke that, it'd be easy to get inside. It wouldn't be hard for someone like Kinzo, who wouldn't hesitate at committing murder, to invade the first floor. It's likely that grandfather and his followers will be armed. Locking ourselves in a room is our best bet, and moreover our only method of forming a barricade. It's painful we have no choice but to hole up in a sealed room, but if our enemies are carrying guns, that's the only method we have left to us.
I know that the master was correctly running around. It was good. It was good. It's already making me horribly mad with us. You can't tell me that.
It takes a lot of force to smash someone's head open, right? So it might be a magnum bullet or something like that. That'd probably go through a flimsy door like it was nothing. If so, that's even more of a reason to hold out in our room. Let's slide a bed in place and block the window too. If we do that much, then no matter how many guns they've got, they shouldn't be able to raid us. Crap. All we can do is this passive one-sided defense. Damn it. Dealing a finishing blow to Dad and even capturing Kirie. That's gonna cost you, you damn geezer!
It's impossible. Because you're right with the there's nothing to measure. There's nothing to do. Somebody really wanted it.
Battler was filled to the brim with the urge to get revenge for Rudolph and to rush out there to save Kirie. But just by looking at how terrified Glorpda was, there was no doubt in him that this would be reckless. It's gotta be hard on you too, right, Aniki? Yet you've gotta stay holed up here. Damn it. Of course I'm torn up about it too. It's not like I can remain calm with I hear my parents murdered. Oh, that's rough, buddy. I'm sorry. But specifically because of that, I have to remain calm. Do you think our dead parents would want us to die in vain? There's no way they would. They'd want for at least their children to escape. So I'll survive. And I'll report this to the police and uncover everything. I'll leave my enemies to the courts. That is my revenge. There's no way our parents would want us to die taking revenge for them, right? You're right. It's just as you say. What you want, bastard? What's this about a ceremony? We're supposed to be sacrifices for something like that, then we'll escape no matter what it takes, ruining this precious ritual of yours. That's right. Besides, you still have Kirie, Battler.
And I still have Shannon. Let's be cautious and wait for our chance. Any careless actions on our part might just end up causing harm to those who have been captured. Hostages, huh? But grandfather captured them so we could use them as sacrifices, right? If we don't go and save them, then are we just waiting for them to be killed? We don't even know where the dungeon they're being held in is. Shannon and Kanon didn't know about it, and of course Goda-san and Kumasawa-san didn't know either. The possibility they're in a secret location only grandfather knows of is incredibly high. Under these circumstances, aimlessly wandering about would be practically suicidal. I understand. But still. Damn it. Are you saying the only thing we can do is stay confined here until something happens?
I understand that
Grandfather has a number of subordinates, and they're all armed, correct?
yes,
Excuse me. Goda had been able to say that Kinzo had comrades with him, but he hadn't been able to mention they were mostly young women like witches who had used strange magic to murder. If he said that, it only cast doubt on his sanity. No, not only that, he himself still couldn't understand what he had seen, and he was doubting his own sanity. Regardless of sex or appearance, regardless of whether it was done with magic or a gun, the fact those girls had followed Kinzo's orders and killed 6 people in an instant was an unshakable truth. If that group came to attack the guest house as well, what would happen? Closing the doors and windows like this was surely meaningless. Goda and Kumasawa. The only thing left for those two who had witnessed that massacre in the dining hall was to cradle their heads without knowing how to interpret what they'd seen. Are you okay, Grandma? Want some tea? Oh, thank you very much, thank you. I'm sorry, but may I be left with my thoughts for a little while? Maria tried to be nice, but it seemed that Kumasawa still hadn't been able to clear away her confusion. Thanks for being so considerate, Maria. Let's let Kumasawa-san rest for now. Ooh. Have their deaths been confirmed yet? No. Oh, she's here. Jessica was also worried about the shock those two must have received after witnessing such a tragedy, but her wildest dreams couldn't even come close to the unbelievable scene Kumasawa witnessed. Nevertheless, with her mother murdered and her father captured, it wasn't as though Jessica could stay calm either. She sealed her anxiety and sadness using her anger towards Kinzo and walked irritatedly around the room. Is Mom really dead?
Yes.
Yes. I've never seen such a horrible way to die before. Is it possible she's still alive? And if we fix her up, we could save her? It's not possible for a person to have something like that done to their head and live. Yeah, you're There's no need for first aid. Once your head's smashed in, usually. When Goda had come flying into the guest house, he had overcome with agitation, told about the massacre in the dining hall without concealing anything. Except for the part about witches and magic, which they themselves still couldn't believe. In other words, he hadn't even sugarcoated the cold-blooded way in which Natsuki and the others had died. It was too late now, but Kumasawa regretted the fact that they'd obviously said too much. However, while lightly shaking her head and with a slightly painful laugh, Jessica spoke. Actually, oh god, dude, I keep nodding off in between reading sentences. Can I take a quick nap, yo? Can I get like 15 minutes real quick? I'm taking a 15-minute nap real quick. Peep this. This'll for sure get me. No, watch this. Trust. I won't fall asleep. Like 100% I won't fall asleep. Trust, bro. 15-minute nap break. See you on the hour. It'll be roughly on the hour is what I should specify. Yeah. Hi guys, you want a bit? Wait, hold on. Let me turn on some music. Playlist, and then I should save again just in case. We'll see if this 15 minutes does anything for me, and if it doesn't, I'm just gonna go fucking take a fat nap. Okay, see you guys in a bit. This nap's about to go so hard. Set an alarm for 6 o'clock. 6:10 or so. Yeah, 20 minutes. Okay. Oh, it's so hot.